25th of January 2011. Protests in Egypt. Gamata Dua, Main Street. Muhandisin. Looks like chaos, looks like police running around and a few hundred people walking down the street.
"18 days that shook the world. Over thousands of years there have been numerous conflicts in the Middle East, and in recent months the turmoil has escalated to such fervor of unimaginable proportions. As you may have seen on the news, in Egypt almost all of the people were working to overthrow their dictator, Hosni Mubarak. They took to the streets in a demonstration of their discontent with his 30-year reign. On January 25th, with the help of Facebook, Twitter, and other forms of social media, the people of Egypt flooded the streets of Cairo and gathered in Tahrir Square in what is now known as Revolution Day. With power in the masses of thousands, they protested against the economic frustrations and unemployment that they experienced under the corrupt reign of Mubarak. Ordinary citizens came to join the protests, of which one said, "I came with 3 of my friends because we're all educated. We're all protesting for our jobs, for our rights to get married, and for the future of Egypt." The people were taking back their country and the values they held dear. The revolution in Egypt was sparked by the successful revolt of Tunisia, which sent a ripple of inspiration across the other displeasured countries of the Middle East. After 18 days of protesting, on February 11th, Mubarak finally resigned his presidency. Abu Elila Mahdi of Al-Wazat Party said, "It will be a new era for all of us. It is the chance to be a real part of Egypt's political life. Finally, Egypt will be able to work as an ordinary country, one with elections and a real democracy, not a dictatorship draped in a cloth of democracy. This will open the door to all who want a say in Egypt's future, not just a small elite that ruled by corruption and the marriage of violence and power. That game is over." Egypt was finally on the road to democracy.
Following the success of the revolution in Egypt, Libyans upset over the dictatorial 42-year regime of Colonel Muammar Gaddafi took to the streets. Benghazi was the first city to protest on February 15th after the growing dissatisfaction with Gaddafi's rule. There's no planning, no infrastructure, no society. Gaddafi has billions and billions in banks all over the world, but he's left us here with nothing. The Libyan dictator had done nothing to help the impoverished citizens of his country, and following the example of Benghazi, other cities fell in suit. Gaddafi wasted no time violently cracking down upon the rebels, though he claims that the uprising was the fault of al-Qaeda and a conspiracy to take Libyan oil. On February 20th, the protesting people of Benghazi experienced a turning point when 5 military bases turned from Gaddafi and went over to the rebel side. Fighting the Libyan army still loyal to Gaddafi, the rebel army is trying to force their way into the capital, Tripoli, asking for aid from NATO. If the West decides to interfere with what Gaddafi calls Libya's own affairs, then the fighting that ensues will be a hell and a bloodbath worse than Iraq.